We're super delighted to be the winners of the Startup of the Year award this year. Even when we saw the original list of finalists and contenders, they were all fantastic companies that we all respect here at Swiggy for the great work that they're doing. So just being in that list in itself was, a great feeling for us. And when we actually made it to the winner of the award, the feeling was fantastic. The whole team here is charged up about some validation for the good work that we've been doing. So yeah, the momentum has been on the positive side, and we're all super excited.
We'll come to the momentum in a while, but I must tell you, we were also at the jury meet, and this was the most debated category, so clearly a close call. What do you think worked for you? I know it's a difficult question for you to answer. There was an edtech company, there was an omni-channel company. It was an interesting blend of startups. What do you think deep down really worked for you to clinch this big win at the award?
I would guess it's a little bit of consumer love. If there are people on the panel who've tried the service or who've spoken to consumers who've tried the service, we believe that there's a nice positive vibe about Swiggy, the service, amongst consumers who've tried the service or know people who try the service. So apart from how we've grown our business and how we've gotten to a certain place in a 3-year record time, that is in itself a great thing. I think what would have clinched it for us is how we're playing a balanced approach, always doing right by the customer, and that's probably what we believe the reason for our ability to win the award is.
Okay. Talk to us a little about what's happening at Swiggy in terms of growth, what's your big focus area? Because, from the beginning itself, you have been pretty focused on ensuring there is a solid business model. The cashbacks weren't as great as a customer would have liked it. There is a minimum order value that you have. So clearly the focus was this from the beginning that this is how you planned your business to pan out really to be?
Absolutely. And it's also the availability of resources. Right? We've not had like over sense of funding throughout. So we've been executing with a lot of discipline from the beginning. Yes, there was a certain way the business model had to be built, and we've from the beginning believed in building the business in this way. We wanted to create affordability for the customer, but not through potentially perverse incentives, which really don't have any loyalty built into that. So we've tried to build the business fully on loyalty that comes through good service, better restaurants, better speeds, all of those things, and not discount. So that's a conscious choice, and discounting is not a core part of our strategy.
And this sort of thing will continue as you move ahead also.
Yes, absolutely. However, if one of the things that we're also learning is that restaurant partners want to invest and promote into the platform very strongly. So we're building the tools for them to grow their business by applying their own promotions, which is a lot more sustainable way to actually maintain affordability for the consumer. So that will be one focus area.
Talk to us a little about the growth that you're seeing in terms of daily orders. I was discussing with you, still say Bangalore is your largest market. So, overall, what's the orders per day that you're receiving, and which city is the next level of growth really coming from?
So as you mentioned, Bangalore is our largest city. Delhi and Bombay are now emerging as massive growth centers. Hyderabad already is a large city for us, but we are suddenly seeing a surge in demand in Delhi and Bombay, so there will be huge focus areas for us, as we believe a huge part of the next wave of growth is going to come from
the smaller cities.
No,
really.
Delhi, Bombay.
Delhi, Bombay.
We still, like I said, our penetration is still in below 1% in like cities like Delhi and Bombay. So there's so much growth just in these cities. Expansion is something that is on our mind, but we believe that there's a lot to be gained by getting even more deeper in the cities that we're already present in.
Got it. But Harsha, the question is, what will be the big differentiator for Swiggy as you move ahead? Because Zomato is also present largely in the same space.
It's about what you do for the consumers who are already transacting. One of the healthy things about food technology, which is super exciting about the aggregator business, is that it's a habit-forming business, which means that consumers repeat at a very, very healthy pace on a month-on-month basis. So, if you're eating 100 times a month, potentially there's room to do a lot more than the numbers that we're already at. So, we will look to innovate a lot more in terms of adding more variety and adding a lot more affordability into the platform through service offerings.
Also, Harsha, quick take on the big controversy that hit Swiggy. You had an anonymous blog really put out, questioned the growth metrics, claim that it was an insider. How did you go about handling it? Was the employee morale also low? Was it one of your worst phases, so to say?
Not at all. I don't think it's affected us that much to call it a worst phase. Employees remain unfazed because the first thing we did even before we started communicating with external sources was to put out a mail to everyone saying this is just some external elements trying to distract us. Let's just keep calm and carry on. And there are multiple reasons to believe that it was not an ex-employee, but employees, since they know the ways of working, a lot of them interact with us, the founders, the management team. It is easy to tell when something is actually happening or not. So hardly there was any doubt at all that this was a figment of someone's imagination. So internally, it's not been of an area of concern for us at all. In fact, I opened up and asked if you have any more clarifications that you need, please come over anytime. We believe in the highest levels of integrity and excellence. So it's been very smooth. In fact, it's made us stronger as an organization because so many ex-employees came up in arms, employees came up in arms on social media, defending the company, saying all of this is insane and something that just does not represent the company that we're building. So on one day, all our stakeholders, ex-employees, employees, investors, everyone came up in arms and supported us. So I think we became stronger as a unit after the episode. This. In one day, we just became a much powerful team than we even were already.
So of course the investors' support would have mattered. So they were also supportive through this.
Supportive.
Because they probably knew the actual numbers.
They knew everything. We believe in being very, very candid with our investors. We are never shy to accept our failures. We're perfectly okay, expressing radical candor. So it's not been a problem. In fact, the investors said don't even bother reacting to it. But I think it hit a certain level of traction at which point we had to clarify because you don't want unsuspecting readers to just believe whatever's out in the media.
True. Lastly, Harsha, for startups watching this show, what's that one or two piece of advice that you would give from your journey at Swiggy, the do's and don'ts really that you have learned along the way, anything that really, is clearly on the back of your mind?
It's something yesterday that, entrepreneurs giving advice is like saying, these numbers are what I used to win the lottery last time, but I'm going to try. I think what's worked for Swiggy is to have a very strong sense of purpose, a mission, and align everyone towards that. When you have a purpose that rallies a lot of your team members, you eventually end up doing a lot of great work. So that's one thing. The second thing is something that we expose very strongly. It is customer love. Consumer obsession is something that is at the center of Swiggy. I think everyone who's building a consumer business
should be obsessed.
Everything begins with the consumer. And if you build your business and ask questions like that, you'll avoid a lot of poor decisions.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.